interdimensional hypothesis holds that residual UFOs enter the physical dimensions of the universe from outside the four familiar dimensions of length, height, width, and time. Where do they come from? Some believe that they come from another physical universe of space and time. But this does not seem possible. General relativity forbids the space-time dimensions of any other hypothetically existing universe from overlapping with our own. For this reason, many researchers believe that residual UFOs must come from some other dimension entirely, perhaps even a spiritual realm. What evidence can be offered for such a bold hypothesis? Many point to the strange behavior of residual UFOs themselves. Hugh Ross contends that residual UFOs must be non-physical because they disobey firmly established physical laws. Among the many examples that he offers in support of this statement are the following. Residual UFOs generate no sonic booms when they break the sound barrier, nor do they show any evidence of meeting with air resistance. They make impossibly sharp turns and sudden stops. They send no detectable electromagnetic signals. For example, relative to the number of potential observers, 10 times as many sightings occur at 3 a.m. a time when few people are out, as at either 6 a.m. or 8 p.m. times when many people are outside in the dark. If residual UFOs were simply random events, then we would expect more sightings when there are more potential observers. The fact that these events are non-random may suggest some sort of intelligence behind them. This is further supported by the fact that some people are more likely to see a residual UFO than others. Numerous researchers have observed a correlation between an individual's involvement with the occult and their likelihood of having a residual UFO encounter. This may also suggest some kind of intelligence behind these phenomena. Finally, residual UFOs not only appear to be non-physical and intelligent, they sometimes seem malevolent as well. Many of those claiming to have had a residual UFO encounter have suffered emotional, psychological, and/or physical injury. A few people have even died after such encounters. In light of these strange characteristics, many researchers have reached similar conclusions about the possible source of these phenomena. Many serious UFO investigators have noticed a striking similarity between some of the aliens described in UFO reports and the demonic spirits described in the Bible. Although it may not be possible to know whether some aliens are actually demons, and I certainly do not claim to know this myself, the well-documented connection between UFO phenomena and the occult cannot be denied. In 1969, Len Cato served as the senior bibliographer of a publication on UFOs researched by the Library of Congress for the United States Air Force Office of Scientific Research. After a 2-year investigation, in which she surveyed thousands of documents, she drew explicit attention to the link between UFOs and the occult. She wrote, "A large part of the available UFO literature deals with subjects like mental telepathy, automatic writing and invisible entities, poltergeist manifestations and possession. Many UFO reports recount alleged incidents that are strikingly similar to demonic possession and psychic phenomena." Veteran UFO researcher John Keel agrees. After surveying the literature on demonology, he wrote, "The manifestations and occurrences described in this imposing literature are similar, if not entirely identical, to the UFO phenomenon itself." The bizarre claim of alien abduction may lend some credibility to these remarks. Many, though not all of, those who report an abduction experience describe the aliens as deceptive and hostile. Whitley Strieber, whose occult involvement preceded the writing of both Communion and Transformation, at times explicitly referred to his alien visitors as demons. For example, in Transformation he described his emotional reaction to the aliens with these words: "I felt an absolutely indescribable sense of menace. It was hell on earth to be there, and yet I couldn't move, couldn't cry out, couldn't get away. Whatever was there seemed so monstrously ugly, so filthy and dark and sinister. Of course they were demons. They had to be. And they were here and I couldn't get away." Nevertheless, In spite of the fact that abduction is often physically and emotionally painful, Mr. Stryber tends to believe that its purpose is ultimately benevolent. When integrated correctly, the abduction experience can provide a catalyst for spiritual growth and development. Still, he candidly admits that he is really not sure precisely who or what these beings actually are, and he continues to warn that many of them are indeed hostile and malevolent. In light of this, one can't help wondering about the experiences related in Mr. Stryber's books. If his encounters with aliens were not merely hallucinatory, or due to some mental disorder, isn't it at least possible that his sinister visitors really were demons? Many UFO investigators would indeed consider this or something very much like it a genuine possibility.